This is the Craftsman Axe again. I skipped the step in between here because there really wasn't that much to show. And I already showed gluing this up, gluing up a fiberglass handle with the double bit that I did earlier. You take a rasp. This is a 4-way file. It's got a coarse rasp, but it's flat. Another one that's round. You take that and you form. There's a plastic collar right at the base of this handle here, and you form this collar the same way that you would a wood handle to fit the eye. And when you do that, you check the axe to make sure that it's straight on the handle. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a molding seam that goes all the way down that fiberglass handle, and you line up the blade so that it lines up with that line and matches up with the end of your handle, and then you're pretty close. You might be microscopically off just a little bit, but what you're doing is you're making sure that the head is on straight with the other handle. And then what you need to do is there's a collar down here that you line up with the base of the head, but you got to take into account that this right here isn't exactly, the axe itself isn't exactly plumb. You can be reasonably certain that the plastic is pretty straight, but the axe head could be out of plumb. And then you line up, then you look inside the eye, and there's an oval fiberglass core, and you eyeball it there to straighten it up as best as you can. Basically, it's forward to the back, forward and back, because you're already straight side by side because it matches up with the handle. And then once you got everything straight, I just tape it to the side of this cabinet, and so that the handle doesn't move and the head doesn't move, and I pour it full of epoxy. So that's what I did last night, and it's 5-minute epoxy, but the top layer dried and was firm to the touch after about 10 minutes, but there was still a big core down in here that didn't have benefit of air, so I let it sit for 12 hours to make sure that everything happened the way it's supposed to. With epoxy, if you don't get a really good mix between the resin and the hardener, it will still harden up. It just takes a little bit longer. You just have to, the hardener, if there's too much hardener in one place with the resin, it will migrate over to where it needs to be, but it takes a while to do it. and the end result might be a little wonky, but if you don't move it while it's setting up, it'll still become epoxy. So that's where we're at now. The next step, there was some epoxy that overflowed, and there's some rough surface along here again. I'll hit it with the DA one more time, and double check all everywhere to make sure there's no burrs. And I'm not seeing anything major as far as issues that have to do with removing metal. So it's all cosmetic at this point. So I'll hit it with the DA and do some cosmetics on the surface, and then we'll work on this edge. It's already sharp, but there's still some sander marks from the belt sander that I want to take out. They're not rough on my thumb, but you can see them. So this is the time where you can get a little OCD or asinine, or however you want to say it. But if marks bug you right now, this is the time to spend an extra few minutes and smooth them out. And then the last step that I'll do, I got the gun bluing, and I'll turn this head a dark blue, and after it's set for a few days with the bluing on it, then I'll hit it with some steel wool, and then I'll probably wax it again. But this is I could take this outside right now and start using it. Everything else, that's all of the functional work is done. Everything that's left is cosmetic. So I'm going to call this one a success. And I already got a leather sheath for it, and it'll go back into that leather sheath. I got they wrapped some stuff onto this handle with clear packing tape. I got to take off some glue, got to take off some stickers, but it's pretty much completely done. So that's how that goes.